Carolina University here over in Western North Carolina to do a concert. So it's going to be pre-recorded because of the coronavirus restrictions, but it's going to be May 6th at 7. I believe it'll be on their Facebook page. We'll drop the info in the description for this video so you guys know. We'll put it on Instagram and things like that. But we're pretty excited to get to do that. We've done several things over the years for Western Carolina University. It's the Mountain Heritage Center that puts it on, and we've always been pretty honored and happy that they ask us to do that. So we're happy to do this, and we're enjoying the ride today. A little cloudy, a little cool, but it's always really nice to go through the Nantahala Gorge and see all the pretty trees and the river, and every once in a while you'll get to a spot where water's coming off the mountain. So really pretty drive.
It's a really pretty drive, and it's interesting. Over the last couple years, the geography of the land's really changed because they've had quite a few landslides. So it looks a lot different than what it looked like when I was a kiddo. We got the law on film, but there come a rafting.
So we just passed the law, and I will tell you guys, I got a speeding ticket, not this March, but the last, in this car because it goes really fast. So I'm going to try not to get a speeding ticket because my insurance went up, and that's not been super fun. So we've seen quite a few rafters out today. This river is pretty famous and popular for rafting. Looks like fun, but I'll be honest, maybe not something I'd want to do. I'd be a little scared. I can swim good, but it's also pretty cold right now. It's car says it's 51 degrees, and I think that river's always cold, even in the summer when it's hot. You know, it's probably still going to be cold.
Well, and I think there's a lot more rafting that goes on in the summer. It's probably a little bit more enjoyable, which is okay. You can raft whenever you want to raft. I mean, you do whatever you want.
Puppets!
I don't want to raft, but you can raft. Hey, look, there's the train!
Oh! You want to try to get a shot of that?
Oh,
there's people on the train. Hello!
It's the train. Can you see it passing?
Probably get
It's very congested, so it's a good thing to watch where you're going. What are we doing out there, buddy? That's a serious cloud of black smoke.
Yikes.
Hey, what do you see through the black smoke? Do you see what I see? A 3rd gen 4Runner.
A 4Runner?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
This is a real populated area through here. You kind of got.
Hey, looky there. That's a good looking 4Runner.
So speaking of gigs, so we're headed to this gig at Western Carolina University here, and we often joke sometimes that we would do a whirlwind tour of the tri-state area. We don't actually travel too terribly far when we play, and of course right now with the coronavirus restrictions and things like that, it's been very different, and we've hardly traveled at all since March of 2020. We've done a lot of online things, which has been nice, and we've also been able to build up our YouTube with all of you awesome guys. So thank you for all our subscribers and commenters. We really appreciate that. But we usually we'll travel like to Georgia, which is not far from us, in North Carolina, where else? Maybe to South Carolina once in a blue moon, Tennessee, just kind of the tri-state area.
If we're already headed in an area for another reason, sometimes we'll like book a gig on the way or like play some music while we are there. One time we did go up north and we did some stuff. We went on a whirlwind tour up north. We went in January, and then later on we went back in April of that year. Gosh, what was that, 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. That was a lot of fun. That was something completely different than anything we had ever done. But as far as gigs go, we usually hang out here in the tri-state area, and it's because we have so many other things that we like to do. We have other commitments, hobbies, just things that we want to do.
And truthfully, I mean, we're just homebodies. I love being at home. I like traveling to certain places and doing certain things, but I'm not one of those travel junkies who like to travel all the time. I'm content to just be at home, read a book, playing some tunes, watching my favorite show, sitting in the yard with the chickens.
Yeah.
I'm not too terribly big on traveling, but I do definitely enjoy playing music. And the cool thing too, I think, because we don't travel a lot to play music, I mean, we don't travel far to play music is what I should say. We've been able to like secure these gigs that we go back to every year, and then we know the people. Or like when we went up north, it was because we took a music class at the folk school and made these like lifelong connections. So I do think that while if you were on the road, like traveling wide and far all the time, it would be really cool, but I think you might miss out on some of those connections that are more intimate because you know the people better because you kind of do the same kind of circuit.
I don't know, sometimes I always thought it'd be cool to get on a big stage and play in front of a big crowd. One of those crowds that you can't even see their faces. It's just people.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, it would be fun, but it would also be very nerve-wracking.
It would be, and I think it would get old real quick because I think that sounds fun, but also at the same time, I really like to be around home. I like to stay around home. You know, and I've got chickens. I like to play with my chickens. I don't like to leave them. I like to watch them. There's so many things that I want to do around home.
Well, and we also, too, I mean, gig-wise, I really like to interact with the crowd if possible. Not that it's not fun to play a super big gig, but if you only play on, like, mega gigs where afterwards you don't really get to talk to that many people, you know, when we play these gigs, people will just walk right up, you know, we might be just a couple feet from them, and they can walk right up and start talking to us, and that's really neat. Or we might be able to ask them questions and be like, all right, how many people have been here before, or whatever. You get that one-on-one kind of interaction, whereas if you're going to be playing for like a mega crowd of 20,000 people, you can't do that.
Right, and a lot of the times if you're that big, when the show is done, there's either a crazy crash and after party, and if there's not, you're right back, get back on that bus, get back on that plane, and go to the next place. There's no time to have downtime to do anything, and it's not like, I'm not saying that we were gonna like book ourselves and get real big, but I know bands that are still pretty small, but they book themselves and they get in a they got like a RV or a bus, and they just go, and they do one gig, and then you have to think about the time you have left to get on the bus or get on the plane and get to the next one.
And I think that would be fun for a while, but honestly, that would probably burn me out over time. That would make it
burn me out for sure.
Cool
I'd hate
for a while, but then if that's all I did and I'm just trying to bust it to the next show, it would suck the fun out. But when we can come do something like this, even though it's going to be pre-recorded, this is, a little different with the coronavirus times here, but it's fun to be able to interact with the crowd. It's fun to still be able to go home in the evenings and still have other things that you can do what you want to do.
Right.
The road life, I'll be honest, is probably just not going to be for me. I'm a granny. I like to go to bed at 8:30. I like to read my book. I like to watch my shows. I like to whatever. And the road life would not be super conducive to that. So
no, it wouldn't be. So get there.
It's just 11:55.
We got slowed down in the gorge. Now past these people.
So on the road, when we do travel to some places, this drive is only an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not like it's mega far. But there's always like things that I like to take on the road. So we drink a lot of water. So like I'm always pack like a day's worth of water, even if I'm going to be gone for like 3 hours. I'm like, that's okay. You never know. I have to have lots of water. Snacks, definitely got to take snacks. We get car sick, both of us, but I get car sick really bad, so I always try to request, can I drive, so I don't get so car sick. Always take a jacket. I have on this cardigan. So it's like 51 degrees right now, but even if it wasn't, I would probably still be wearing this. I have a jacket in the back. Extra set of strings. You never know if I accidentally break a string, so.
That's true. I like to travel with anything that I would need in case I break down, and then I got to spend a while wherever I'm at because I'm paranoid. So a lot of the times when I travel, I have medicine. I have a lighter in case I got to light something on fire or start a fire. I got enough clothes. I got water. I got food.
We got a nice knife just in case.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person I want to go prepared wherever I go. In case something bad was to happen, it would give me anxiety to think that I wouldn't be able to take care of myself, even though we're only going an hour and 15 minutes from home. But I'm like, well, what if we get in a wreck and we got to sit on the side of the road and wait a while? Like, you always want to think about those things. But as far as traveling to gigs, I always go with extra strings. I go with an extra bow in case something bad was to happen to my bow. Sometimes I know people who will even travel with more than one bridge for their instrument in case. It's rare, I mean, unless you've just done something crazy for your bridge to have a problem. However, I did have that happen one time, and I did not have an extra bridge. And if I would have had one, I could have maybe potentially fixed it. Probably not. I could have just dropped the sound post, and then it would have been no good anyway. So it'd be kind of tricky trying to do that stuff on the fly. But you just want to travel with, like, Corey probably travels with extra strings, extra pick,
extra
a good
picks.
strap, this and that. Just things that
You might need.
and you don't want to get on the spot and be expected to play for this gig and then not have what.
Be like, oops, I don't know.
Right, I know people who actually travel with, and now this is for people probably doing bigger things than just an hour away from home. People who travel more than one fiddle, more than one guitar, travel with multiple
if I was-
instruments.
yeah, definitely. I guess if I was going on the road, then I'd want more than one. But I only have one acoustic, and the only other one I have besides that is my Les Paul. So that's Les Paul doesn't really go with traditional music.
No,
Per se.
I don't think it does. But as long as you're traveling with necessities and essentials that make you comfortable, that make it easy to perform and play, and give you a backup in case you were to need it, then you are good to go. Oh, you mean where they're eating the road away to fix it?
One of these things.
You just gotta hold your lane so you don't hit the side.
But they got the road split, and you're like, hey, they've had that like this forever.
I know, it's like, hurry up and get it done. This is us eating on the way to our gig. I'm telling you, I've never met anybody that has as temperamental blood sugars we do. Mine just drop right out.
Yeah.
And when it does, if I don't get food, obviously I feel like I'm going to pass out, but I get real mean.
Yeah, I get me for sure.
You only 3 times where I'm mean. If I'm asleep or I'm sleepy and you're messing with me and I'm trying to rest, or my blood sugar's low, and then I'll just hurt you.
Is it this exit?
No, it's High Creek. We ain't.
We are eating. These things are almond flour tortillas, and I put just some butter in a skillet on the stove. And I put mozzarella and turkey in them, and they're good. Even if they're cold, they're good. Eat that with some blueberries and spice. Easy, it don't set too heavy.
It's actually really, really, really good. Corey's been trying to get me to try them, and I'm like, almond flour is not my favorite type of alternative. Like flour's alternative to gluten-free. Like gluten-free options like chickpea flour. I like coconut flour a lot. But I thought, almond flour is not really my thing. And, you know, I don't really like anything to do with tortillas or tortilla style. I'm not really much for Mexican cuisine of any kind, or even tortilla stuff. But this is the first time I've ate them, and I'm wishing I'd had her make like 5 because they're so good.
Man, I'd love some chips and salsa.
I could do that. Corey's a really good cook,
Thank you.
and she's the brains in this operation, and I'm the muscle.
No. Yeah, we balance each other out now.
I'm very extreme and like 90 to nothing, real emotional, jump off the cliff, and Corey's pulling me back on the cliff. Back up the cliff, so. Hey, it works.
You want me to be spontaneous, so.
Yeah. Bet you wish you had some almond flour tortillas, but you don't, so sorry.
Where we going?
Her. No.
Where's my exit?
It's Corey, we're not to Silver yet. You got like probably 15 miles. Look at that trash over there. What have they done? Hey, now, after you eat something like this and your hands are greasy, don't wash them. Don't bother to wash them. In fact, go to the frying pan where you made this food and coat your hands in grease, and then pick your instrument up and play it like that.
It'd be really good for your instrument.
And it'll be really good for your
It'll
instrument.
grease up the fretboard.
Hey, well, what we got here? We got a situation. What's that about? Did we lose something?
Wait, you're blocking my right side mirror. Can I get in that lane?
Yes. Somebody back there.
It's blocking it with the camera, and I started to get in that lane. I'm like, uh-oh, I can't see.
It'll be really your instrument to love nasty, greasy, dirty stuff. So just cover your instruments and just trash.
Why do you need lemon oil from your fretboard when you have greasy butter from your tortilla? I'm just kidding. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, that's the opposite. Please don't ever do that. Wash your hands every time and let them dry before you play your instrument. Hey, what are they doing? They went back on the road or not? I gotta have some. I want some of this nut mix.
I want one of those bars. Can you give me one of my purple?
highway work.
They cutting the sides of the trees and stuff so they don't grow into the road.
Ditch the debris, yo. Oh, that's a cool little rig right there. They should let me drive that. Look, it's got a K on it.
Made for you.
That's meant for me. Now we got some serious congestion here. You're gonna have to look because these people are gonna want over, and which I'm sorry, I'm already starting it. I'm a front seat driver. It's horrible. Hey, watch it, buddy. Okay, we are almost to our gig. I've just kind of been trying to help us navigate a little bit here. That's very interesting.
What if it's a bat house? It's probably a house for bats.
Actually,
at the stop sign, turn right onto Webster Road, then turn left onto South River Road.
Okay, so we're gonna turn right up here at this stop sign. I'm just trying to help us navigate to get into our gig here. I do know where we're at now. Remember that night we come in when it was dark? We passed that church. That's live. What you call it, church? I remember this.
Pretty place over here.
Yeah, and we're headed over here.
So it's part of Western Carolina University, but it's called the Mountain Heritage Center. They're the one who is putting this on, and it's going to be a concert May 6th, starting at 7. It'll be on their Facebook page. We'll drop the details in the description of this video for you to see. We'll be posting about it on our Facebook and Instagram as well. But we're really thankful that they asked us to come over here and be a part of this, since with the coronavirus restrictions and things, I think they're not able yet to have events. This must be like a fly-flip fish hub, because this river must be famous or something, because like I have seen...
Is it Tuckasegee?
Well, you've probably seen like 30 or
Geese.
40 people. Whoa, those geese are right on the side of the road. Hey guys.
They look ill. All geese I've ever seen are ill.
That's really neat. I wish I knew exactly what kind of fish they were fishing for, but I'm not kidding.
Well,
I mean, we've
easy
probably
now,
seen
buddy.
40 of them.
What do you fly fish for? Trout?
There's something to it. Really cool. Fly fishing's really neat. It's a skill. It's a technique that you got to learn.
It sure is.
At the next stop sign.
So we made it, guys, to the gig, like I said, and it's really pretty nice. This is a really cool room. Trying to get it all. And we got the mics right here behind me. We're gonna lower them down since we're sitting. Oh, it already sounds so good. So we made it. This is a super nice room that we're in. Really cool. Really cool setup. There's like a sound booth over there. It's really nice setup they've got here. It's a beautiful, absolute beautiful. Beautiful. I wish I had this in my house. I should just invest the money and have this in my house. That'd be wonderful. I know. Makes you wonder how much it would really cost